the talk from the camps of the heavyweight champions is currently very positive in terms of the prospect of having unification fights in the fairly near future, perhaps in 2017. We've heard Joseph Parker's people come out and say they'd love to be involved in a unification fight with Deontay Wilder, and there's apparently been talks between the two camps. You've also heard Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn talk about the prospect of fighting Parker, and now the prospect of fighting Deontay Wilder. This is a fight that Eddie Hearn has actually been saying he would like for Joshua for quite some time. Obviously, Joshua's got a very tough assignment against Vladimir Klitschko up next, and that will, if he wins, give him the WBA strap as well as his IBF. So I'm going to quote Eddie Hearn directly here about the prospect of Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder sometime in 2017. Eddie Hearn says, he's in Dubai at the moment. He comes back at the end of this week, and then we're going to go to an event in America on the 29th of January. Then we do a press conference for Joshua Klitschko on the 31st, and then he flies back straight into camp for February 1st, so it's all underway. I would like him to fight Wilder. You never know what is going to happen in boxing. AJ and Klitschko could have a 10, 11, 12 round war. Do you really do that again or fight Wilder? Do you fight the winner of do you fight the Hey Bellew winner? Anything can happen, but I love the Deontay Wilder fight. The Americans are starting to go mad for Anthony Joshua. They were all talking about him last week. Wilder against Joshua can be built into a huge fight. Two undefeated, fast, big punching heavyweights. But I think at the moment, the pure focus, because of the toughness of the fight, has to be Vladimir Klitschko. You come through and it's no turning back. It's big fights only. So those are the words of Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Anthony Joshua, speaking about, as I say, the potential of fighting Deontay Wilder. That's something he really likes. It is, you can see, a big fight commercially because you got two young guys, two unbeaten guys, two big punchers. It would be a very easy sell. I do think that they need to do better work in the United States in terms of building up Deontay Wilder. People say, well, he hasn't fought anybody. That's why people don't take him seriously in the United States. And there's an element of that, I'm sure. But there's also an element of the fact that boxing in the United States has been dying for a long time. It's only really very, very big marquee fighters that get any type of recognition. And you look at the guys who do get big numbers still. Canelo Alvarez is there because Mexicans are extremely passionate about boxing. I mean, you could pretty much say that boxing is the national sport in Mexico. It's extremely popular. So because of that, Canelo is enjoying the massive support that he has. Miguel Cotto has been around for a very, very long time. He's still a pretty big draw with the Puerto Rican community in the United States. Floyd Mayweather, when he was fighting, he was a big draw, but only when he beat Oscar De La Hoya. So that started his situation, for lack of a better term, where he would take on Latino fighters, popular Latino fighters, and he would antagonize the Latino crowd. That's pretty much how Floyd Mayweather got as big as he is today, by constantly antagonizing the Latino crowd, fighting on Mexican holidays, and beating these Latino fighters consistently. Most people that were tuning in to watch Floyd Mayweather fights, I would suggest, were not necessarily Floyd Mayweather fans. There were people tuning in and buying a pay-per-view hoping that he would lose. That's how he got so big. Deontay Wilder doesn't have a situation like that. He doesn't have a nemesis. He doesn't have a crowd to antagonize. A crowd of very passionate boxing fans like the Mexicans are. Wilder don't have that. So Wilder's trying to build up his own name off just what he's doing and not anybody else's fan base, which is a lot more difficult in the current climate in American boxing. You see other people out there, Terence Crawford and, many other boxers out there. It's the same situation, and Terence Crawford has taken on good opposition. But do you see his pay-per-view numbers up there like Canelo's? No, you don't. Terence Crawford, as yet, is not antagonizing a certain section of very passionate boxing fans. Maybe small sections of very passionate boxing fans, but I'm talking about the way that Floyd Mayweather was able to get under the skin of Latino boxing fans and, you know, beat their top fighters consistently for long periods of time. So unless Wilder gets into that position, then I doubt he's going to make any great shakes in boxing. Although this Joshua fight, if they were to promote it the right way on Showtime or whatever in the United States, I don't think it would do crazy numbers, but it would be seen as a real fight. And I'm sure it would generate a lot more interest than any of Wilder's previous fights. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, what do you think, guys? The prospect of Anthony Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder in a big heavyweight unification, if Anthony Joshua manages to get past Vladimir Klitschko, who do you think would win between Joshua and Wilder? And you know, you're only ever as good as your last fight. Now, it's not true in reality, but in the minds of boxing fans, this is the case. You're only as good as your last fight. You could have had an amazing career, but if in your last fight you got knocked down or you look disappointing in some way, then they're going to say that you're washed up or you're this, that, or the other. And the reverse is true. If Anthony Joshua defeats Vladimir Klitschko easily, does a number on him, then most people are going to say that Deontay Wilder has no chance. So we'll see how Anthony Joshua does. But again, Klitschko and Wilder have two completely different styles, and styles make fights. There are some things, maybe a lot of things, that Klitschko does better than Wilder, but there are also some things that Wilder at this point does better than Klitschko. You have to bear that in mind when you're weighing up how Joshua would do against either man and how Joshua's style matches up against either man. So yeah, let me know what you feel about the prospect of Anthony Joshua fighting a Deontay Wilder in a unification. How do you think it would go? Do you think it would be easy for Joshua? And again, after the Klitschko fight, I think we'll know a lot more. So yeah, let me know. It's Hatman, I'm out.